That's a good question.
Mhm.
I might just briefly defend the labour theory of value, seeing as you've taken the
Okay.
I think, and again, this kind of comes from Joan Robinson. Like I said, I read economic philosophy recently, and it definitely had quite a lot of influence on me. She kind of says that there are metaphysical ideas. These are ideas that you can't really measure, and you can't use for prediction, and you can't model, but they do tell you something about the way the world is and what you should look for and what you should be worried about. And then you have sort of scientific methods, and she draws a distinction between Marxist labour theory of value and scientific economics, as she describes scientific economics, the attempt to be scientific.
Mm.
But I think the idea that what's produced is in some way related to how much work goes into it, and therefore that the distribution of what's produced should have some relation to the amount of effort that goes in, is a very powerful idea. And I think it's quite implicit in a lot of post-Keynesian models. A standard way of modelling prices and wages is just that firms mark up over wages, and that markup reflects the power of the firms over the workers. And in a sense, it's almost an analog to Marx's rate of exploitation, although it's represented slightly differently. And so I do think it's a very powerful idea and a very useful idea when thinking about capitalism, but I don't think it gives us a theory of prices or something you can operationalize to give clear predictions. And also because it's got a lot of different elements. It's got a kind of normative, ethical element. It's got a kind of descriptive element. People take different things, and so people almost disagree what exactly is the labour theory of value. But for example, you see these pictures in the Financial Times where they show you, of every £2 spent on a cup of coffee, how much is marketing, how much is branding, how much is transport, how much goes to the people who pick the coffee beans, and it's invariably 2p or something, some terrible fraction. And I can't look at those pictures without thinking in purely Marxian labour theory of value terms and just think there's something wrong here. Those workers are producing the coffee, but they're not getting the sales price. So in that sense, I don't think it's wrong. I just think it's wrong to think that you can use it for modern scientific economics in the way that we might want to, if that makes sense.
Yeah, as a scientific theory, I don't think it holds up. I think that's the important thing. I don't think that marginalist value theory holds up either, by the way, it's because they are, like general